Hi there, everyone. Welcome on board another informative Jamaica Magazine journey. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. After the past couple days of celebrations, we want to keep your spirits up as we head into the new year. There's a lot lined up in this half-hour package, and it all begins with the news of the day. You can't afford to miss any of it, so stay with us.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JS News for Monday, December 30, 2024. High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Mayak Joshi, says Jamaica and India have set a solid foundation for mutually beneficial partnership in trade, investment, and economics. Addressing a recent business and ethics event, he said these opportunities are growing with India's increased interest in the Latin American region. According to the High Commissioner, trade between India and Latin America has increased to approximately $50 billion and is expected to reach $100 billion by 2028.
Out of this growing partnership in this region, I find a lot that can be done with Jamaica. And certainly, Jamaica needs to be and will be a part of this opportunity and potential which we are looking at. We are looking at Jamaica, and Jamaica is ready to embrace India.
His Excellency Joshi said India is also looking to cooperate in other areas such as capacity building, education, healthcare, digital technology, hospitality management, and renewable energy. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Darrell Vaz has lauded the progress being made at the Sangster International Airport over the past 2 decades. Minister Vaz says the airport, which is located in Montego Bay, St. James, is instrumental in the growth of the tourism sector. Among the key milestones are the expansion of the terminal, which has significantly enhanced capacity and passenger comfort, and the completion of the East Concourse, providing connectivity and efficiency within the airport. Additionally, Minister Vaz says the upgraded duty-free concessions has elevated the traveler experience, offering a world-class retail environment. His statement was delivered by President and Chief Executive Officer of the Airports Authority of Jamaica, Audley Diedrich, during a recent forum by the airport.
These accomplishments, among others, underscore the airport's role as a critical driver of Jamaica's tourism and economic development, setting a benchmark for aviation standards in the region. These improvements are updated as per safety compliance measures to meet international standards.
The minister said 2024 has been a transformative one for the airport.
At the heart of any airport's success lies the passenger experience. This year, the MBJ implemented new kiosks, enabling passengers to check in quickly and efficiently, significantly reducing wait times during peak travel periods.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, is urging citizens to avoid the dangerous practice of accessing electricity illegally. Deputy Commissioner of the Brigade, Sean Martin, says this growing hazard poses severe risks to both community members and firefighters. He was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. Mr. Martin says the overloading of circuits can cause fires, damage to electrical equipment and appliances, as well as interactions with wires siphoning electricity can result in serious injury and possibly death. He adds that illegal connections pose significant challenges to firefighting operations.
Earlier this year, some firefighters got shocked and were taken to the hospital because of stolen electricity. They were operating in a space where the ground was wet, water was in the environment, and electricity was being stolen by residents of that particular area. And the firefighters received severe shocks. Some of them spent days in the hospital.
With late shopping for presents still on, Parents and guardians are being encouraged to exercise caution and prioritize the health and well-being of children when buying toys. The Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, says toys must be appropriate for the age of the child, as some toys can pose potential risks such as choking and hearing loss. Communication Director Latoya Halstead says consumers should also check for sharp edges and points when buying toys.
We also want to ensure that when you are buying toys, the toys are strong, they're sturdy. Be careful of toys that will have small parts, and we're talking about not necessarily just for babies here. We're talking about toddlers who might be able to use certain toys, but you also have a baby in the house. So that may break off from the toy and the baby will find it. So you have to be careful.
Ms. Halstead says toys that emit sounds as loud as 120 decibels should be avoided. The CAC is advising persons to read the labels before buying to ensure that the instructions are clear, and is also encouraging the gifting of toys that will foster both creative play and development of the child.
So you buy toys that will assist them with their motor skills. Yeah, their fine motor skills. So you buy educational toys as much as is possible.
Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, says it will provide services up to 3 a.m. on New Year's Day on routes operating from the company's 3 main depots in Portmore, Spanish Town and Rockfort. The JUTC says the extended hours are intended to facilitate the expected increase in demand for the service as persons ring in the new year. The transport company is assuring commuters that it won't leave them stranded and will ensure that all or most commuters reach home safely. And finally, the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, will host the highly anticipated Fireworks Festival 2024 at 3 locations on December 31 to ring in the new year. The locations are Kingston Waterfront, Ocho Rios Bay Beach, and Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay. The event will run from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. and will feature a variety of culinary offerings, a kiddies village, family-oriented activities, entertainment package, and the fireworks display at midnight. To accommodate this, the UDC has announced a series of road closures and traffic changes in Kingston. The restrictions started on December 29, with no left-turn access onto Ocean Boulevard at the intersections with Nethersole Place and Church Street. However, access will be maintained for essential deliveries and parking. Additional adjustments will take effect on Tuesday, December 31, starting at 4 p.m. Sections of Church Street, King Street, Peters Lane, Orange Street, Princess Street and West Street will be converted to two-way traffic or partially closed. Port Royal Street will experience restricted access, including no left turns onto or from Ocean Boulevard. The UDC says the adjustments will ensure the safety and convenience of attendees while facilitating the smooth execution of the event. It says the Jamaica Constabulary Force, a key partner of fireworks festivals over the years, will guide traffic arrangements in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, respectively. And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Nuclear energy is increasingly being seen as a viable energy option, and the Jamaican government is on board with adding this to our energy mix. In this next feature, we'll join a group of young, energetic Jamaicans at a booth camp to explore this option.
Initially, when I would have heard about nuclear, I just think pure evil. I kid you not, guys. Personally, I just think pure evil. And then I would have had a conversation with Dr. Smith, many conversations, and then I would have learned the beauty of nuclear engineering and what nuclear power can do to this world. So I'm learning from my former student.
fusion is the splitting of atoms to release energy from a mass, and that goes back to Einstein's equations of E is equal to mc squared.
Just the fact that she attended this school, that plays a big role in them being able to see how feasible an opportunity like this is for them.
I'm so proud of her, Mr. Johnson.
The fact that we are able to have this program with the first person from Jamaica to ever get a PhD in nuclear engineering is truly remarkable and out of this world.
And when you put the control rods in the reactor, what's happening? It's absorbing the neutrons, right? So
it's not something they saw on TV. This is somebody who is from their own environment.
So answer me now this. Is nuclear energy safe?
So when you got told you were going to a nuclear boot camp, what did you expect?
Firstly, the first thing came to mind was nuclear power plants. Well, mostly nuclear bombs, but...
Bombs? Nuclear had something to do with atoms to me, honestly.
I think a nuclear engineer create bombs.
When nuclear waste is buried, you have people who dig it up and use it for wrong reasons, like to create nuclear weapons.
Nuclear waste is currently not stored anywhere underground. So where you get that information from? They're saying something, and you're confident about saying it, make sure so you have something to back it up. Or else we are feeding into those misconceptions and the spreading of misinformation. You're looking at the death rates per electricity production for different energy sources. Brown coal, oil, biomass. I remember we talked about biomass. What is biomass?
Burning of wood.
The burning of wood. All right. What comes next? Gas. And hydropower. And nuclear is where? Down here with wind and solar.
The sweltering heat is now crippling poultry production.
Of the over 300 chickens, just over 100 are left.
Disappearing rivers have been disrupting livelihoods as drought conditions worsen island-wide.
When we talk about energy reliability, we're talking about how often we can have that energy source running. If it has a capacity factor of 30%, it means only running 30% at a time. During the hottest time in the year, these solar panels are operating at what percent capacity factor?
Over 30%.
Is that a lot?
No.
And so capacity factor of nuclear, how does it look?
Extremely.
Right, if you average this out, it's going to be 92%. The only energy source that comes close is geothermal.
The bigger mission here is to take a hard look at the energy mix in Jamaica. We have a very large dependence on imported fossil fuels to produce electricity. It's extremely expensive.
Jamaica, we know 89% fossil fuels and wind, solar, and hydro.
Did you ever hear people complain about the electricity bill?
All the time.
You plug in your phone, you're using it at the same time. They're like, why are you running up my electricity bill?
In some households, they are forced to not use the lights during the night.
Say the Prime Minister come to you and say, what energy sources would be the best to use in Jamaica? We can't use solar. Yes. Prime Minister said we can't use wind. Yes. But we can't use that alone because why? They're not on all the time, right? So we'll go over to the base load energy sources. And base load energy means 24/7 energy. Jamaica is doing this. It's using the 24/7 electricity from fossil fuel, and it's getting the variable energy from renewables. There are some parts of the world where say, we don't want that, but we have this. But there was a study done by the University of the West Indies that identified 8 Caribbean countries that have geothermal capability. Jamaica was not on that list, unfortunately. I remember how small our hydro capability is. If you now have hydro capacity or geothermal, then you can look at nuclear as 24/7 energy because you have a higher capacity factor and you mix it with renewables, right?
To do this boot camp, I put together a team of Jamaicans, Americans, people from the UK, Canada, who are very knowledgeable in this area.
We're going to do a workshop called Climate Fresque, where you guys get to collaborate and try to figure out how climate change works.
Transportation, agriculture, building use.
Yeah.
Wait, why you put it in one line?
And it's melting now.
Yeah, that releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Stand right here, guys.
7.
So here's your slowpoke tube. As reactors go, this is really, really tiny. This is a tiny reactor. And all we're doing is just introducing those samples into the core. So it goes through these white tubes, and that's where it's exposed to its neutrons. This is going to show me how far in. It's my pleasure always to expose young minds to what we do here. Furthermore, these kids are very smart. They ask great questions. They're very enthusiastic.
That's the actual weight of the reactor.
That's the actual weight of the core, yes.
Miguel, are you good?
I think there are a whole lot of opportunities for a country like Jamaica, and we're just not utilizing as much as we can. And the brain drain is a big problem, and that's part of the reason why several industries cannot expand, because you need a critical mass, so to speak, of educated people. If there are no jobs here, or if the salaries are low, they leave, and then we lose that to developed countries who already have that critical mass.
Why didn't you leave?
For the same reason. We didn't want to be a part of the brain drain, because then nothing will progress.
So every energy source, no matter which one, all of them requires critical minerals or critical materials that need to be mined to be able to harness that energy source. One uranium pellet that is this size can produce the same amount of energy as 1 ton of coal. 120 gallons of oil to give me the same energy as this.
Why do we use nuclear in space? It takes a ton of energy to put anything into space at all. So most of the things that we do in space are powered by solar. But the sun's energy is much more powerful closer to the sun. By the time you get to Saturn, it's 1% as strong at Saturn as it is near Earth. And so if you want to do anything out there, you need something like nuclear energy. You can actually just take existing nuclear waste that people don't know what to do with right now, that is currently sitting in safe locations. We can take that and then power rovers, power satellites, power landers. It opens up a lot of opportunity. And so I encourage you, if that's something that interests you, to really pursue that. This is something that you can really get ahead of and participate in.
Jamaicans consume on average 9 to 12 grams of sodium or salt per day, twice the World Health Organization recommended amount of less than 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of salt, and more ideally, less than 2 grams of sodium per adult per day from all food sources. This excess salt in the diet causes high blood pressure, kidney and bone damage, gastric cancer, obesity, and worsening of asthma. Reduce the amount of salt you consume to no more than 3 to 5 grams, or half to 1 teaspoon per day for adults, and less than 2 grams for children under 11 years of age. Let's shake the salt habit and live healthy. A public service message from the Jamaica Information Service.
Turning our attention now to another form of energy emanating from the past few days of celebration. You might have eaten to your heart's content and now have a bit more stored energy than you need. For these few remaining minutes inside Jamaica Magazine today, health experts provide tips on the proper way for you to release that extra energy, lose weight, and tone the body.
You want this lean, muscular physique and well-toned body, framed for the beach, carnival parade, or just your regular dressed down or formal attire. You want to cut the fat and develop that noticeable defined muscle and shape, but not significant muscle size. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as you remember the most important thing is not a summer or designer body, but rather a healthy body. By doing efficient exercises and controlling your weight, you can expect to safely lose between 1 and 2 pounds a week on your journey to a more fit body. But doctors recommend that you should not lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. For many people, even this rate may be too aggressive in terms of dietary and exercise modifications.
That body is not just going to come overnight. It's not going to come within 2 weeks or a month, depending. It all depends on the type of activity you do, how you do it.
Within 2 months, if you stick to your exercise program and if it's done properly, you will see and feel results. Before starting any structured exercise program, however, persons should first consult with their doctor.
The reason why we need a medical approval from our doctor is that a lot of us have pre-existing health conditions and some of us are not as fit as we think. For example, in Jamaica, 4 in 10 is hypertensive and they don't know it. And it's the same with diabetes, 4 in 10 and don't know it. And our stats tell us 7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a chronic disease. We define physical activity by intensity level and the frequency in which we do it. Frequency meaning how often we do it per week. For example, 2 times per week or 5 days per week. The intensity is the energy in which we use to perform the activity, meaning how hard you work out. There's 3 levels of intensity: low, moderate, and vigorous.
If you want to lose weight, the Ministry of Health recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week. To lose and maintain weight, 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week is recommended. There are 2 main categories of exercise, namely aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
What this is saying that the body needs oxygen to break down fat that is stored in the body. All the calories stored in the body as fat need oxygen to break it down, that is in the tissue. So if you want to lose weight, you must do the aerobic activity to burn that fat that we use as energy when we're doing the activity. So the type of activities are like swimming, running, dancing. It is normally done for a long period of time.
When you decide to lose weight, you want results. Results keep you motivated and on track. Cardiovascular exercises are part of the aerobic category and they help you trim down by burning extra calories. While this helps shed excess fat and strengthens your cardiorespiratory system, it won't build the tone in your muscles that you're after.
Now, when we talk about anaerobic activity, it is activity that does not need oxygen. It's quick, it's fast, it's snap. So most of the time, that activity will help to tone the muscles that we're looking for. But you cannot tone unless, we lose that fat. So you need to do the aerobic activity, then you do the anaerobic activity, which is like the weightlifting, the squats, the push-ups, the jumping, so that now you lose with aerobic and then you tone with anaerobic.
Calories are the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight. Eat fewer calories than you burn and the scale will respond.
Generally, we work with a 2,000 to 2,500 caloric intake per day for the general population. But for each person, their caloric requirements is different because we calculate it based on your specific age, your height, weight, gender, and how physically active you are. Females generally eat less because they carry less muscle mass than men, and so they weigh less. The range is different. For someone who is very slim and short, then maybe 1,800 would be a safe amount to save for that person. But for men, 2,100 would be the lower end of the spectrum.
You may create a caloric deficit, which will cause you to lose weight, but it's best to work with a balanced diet and exercise.
A caloric deficit is when you consume less calories than what you're using for the day. So usually persons try to cut their caloric intake significantly to lose a lot of weight at once, but consuming less than, say, 1,200 calories per day can cause you to have nutritional deficiencies. You can lose muscle and bone, and your body will also go into starvation mode so that you'll stop losing weight altogether.
That's a no-no. The best way to slim down and tone up is to combine balanced diet and exercise. And avoid fad diets such as low carb, high protein, or anything that deviates from a balanced diet.
In Jamaica, we have food-based dietary guidelines that are specific to the Jamaican population, but it's based on the 6 food groups in the Caribbean. So we have food from animals, staples, legumes and nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils.
Losing weight at a rate faster than 1 to 2 pounds per week and regularly skipping meals can leave you feeling extraordinarily hungry so that you binge at the next opportunity, causing weight regain. Plan for 3 balanced meals per day, in addition to 1 or 2 healthy snacks.
You want to include foods from all of your food groups. So say for example you're planning for lunch, you want to include either food from animals or a plant-based protein like beans or nuts. You have your staple foods like rice, bread or pasta, your fruits and vegetables that you can include in a salad, and you can put your fats and oils, for example, like in pear or avocado. Healthy snacks are low in fat, low in salt and low in sugar. So you can have a fruit or vegetables, for example, carrot sticks, or you can use dried fruits and nuts. As a general guide, 1 serving of food from animals is the palm of your hand, a cup of rice is like your fist, and fats and oils is your thumb. That's 1 serving.
Losing fat and retaining or building muscle creates a strong, toned appearance. Do strength training activities that focus on all the major muscles and the entire body, upper, mid, and lower body. Plank is a good full body workout which helps to build strength in your core, upper, and lower body. Those that focus on the lower body include lunges, using the stairs, leg press, and squat exercises that effectively work most of the major muscle groups of the butt, hips, and thighs. Some examples of exercises to strengthen the mid-body abdominal muscles include the side twist, traditional crunch, bicycle crunch, and exercise ball. You can also try other activities to sculpt your legs, tone your thighs and bottom muscles, waist, and abs.
Ensure that you hydrate properly. It is good to drink water before, during, and after your activity so you don't get dehydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty, just take your water with you and sip, little sip as you go along. So make sure you work out at an intensity level that suits you, because every one of us are at a different fitness level.
Getting and staying fit is a lifestyle change, so you have to make exercise a part of your daily routine and eat a balanced diet daily for a happier, healthier you.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Don't drink alcohol and drive. Don't drive tired or sleepy. Don't tailgate and don't overtake unless it is safe to do so. And always drive at a speed which will allow you time to stop quickly and safely. Let's keep it safe on our roads.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please join us again tomorrow on this same station for more news, features, and information you can use. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gop.jm, for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.